Chirp one. Emily Kaplan on ABC had Brandon Carlo, Trent Frederic, and Morgan Geekie as players the Bruins have gotten trade calls on. Time to pull the trigger on those.
Yes, maybe. So I'll start with the maybe first. Morgan Geekie's kind of buying his way into my heart with his scoring this year. The only hesitation that I have is the contract. We've talked about that before, what we see that looking like. And that was before the raised salary cap projections. So I could only see that going up from there, which Morgan Geekie, if he wants anything more than 4 years at $3 to $3.5 million, you just have to say no. He's not a significant enough increase in talent from other things that you have available, in my opinion. Now, Trent Frederic, I would probably send him tomorrow for a bag of pucks for just about anything in the NHL. At this point, we've joked back and forth that he is the public skate candidate. He's got 15 points in 55 games this season, a -13. He's really not providing any of the physicality and the toughness that he used to. He's really been kind of restrained, I would say, by the Bruins since that rookie to sophomore season when he pretty much fought anything that moved. So I would probably move on from him. He's just a repeat of Mark Kastelic or even a Justin Brazeau at this point, who honestly gives you more offensive production. And then the most intriguing one, I think, that she brought up in that segment is Brandon Carlo. You would think that that is a significant piece that would bring you decent value. And when you're Don Sweeney in the Boston Bruins and you're looking at how can we add more to this roster, to the organization, you got to be able to move somebody. And
you do.
We've talked about defensemen before. We've talked about Zadorov. We've talked about Hampus Lindholm. Well, the cheaper contract out of them all and has a lease term is Brandon Carlo. And he's a stay-at-home defenseman. He could solve a lot of PK problems and defensive liability problems for cheap on a playoff contender. I wouldn't be shocked if you could, make a deal with a team surrounding Carlo where you get a top 6 forward talent back in return.
Yeah, and the thing about Carlo that's pretty attractive is that he has 2 years left. His cap hit is only 4.1, and actually his actual cash goes down to 3.25 the last year. So you're not paying him much of anything for 2 years. And then he's 28, and then you can decide from there, like, do you want to move him again, or do you want to extend him? So that's actually makes it even more attractive. And sure, is he affordable enough to keep? Of course. And when he's good, he's really good at what he does. But I think now might be a time where he's had the worst year of his career. He's got 74 giveaways, which is by far. And Smitty hates this stat. And usually it's under the giveaways you actually give away. It's really pretty conservative. And for him to be at 74 is even more astronomical because the giveaways are really 125. So, so that's the thing is I think you still have some value there. You can get some good return, and I think that it's time, I would say, to see what you could get. And I think his affordable contract allows you to get even more than maybe you should for him. So I'd kick it around, and see if someone like Dallas or someone like Vegas or someone who needs some defensive help, especially on the penalty kill, could use someone like Brandon Carlo. So, and Trent Frederic, I'm with you. I think that should have been done a month ago, to be honest. I don't know why it hasn't been. And Geekie, I guess I'm kind of with you there. If you can sign Geekie for like 3 years times 3 or something, then I would do it because he's had now 17 back-to-back 17 goal seasons. He might get outside chance to 25 this year. 22 to 25 goals. He's 25 years old. He's shown that he can fill in top six. I still don't think on a really good team you want him as a top six, maybe second line, but I'd rather third line. So if you're able to upgrade your top six and have him slide down to the third line again, then yeah, I'd resign him. Sure. No, I wouldn't give him more than he's worth.
No.
But I'd resign him. Now, I don't know if Geekie, if he wants to kind of wait it out, hold him over a barrel. I think he's an RFA, right?
Yes, you're correct. He should be a restricted free agent.
So there's not a lot of leverage on his part. So, and I think he'd probably resign now. Would they give him a 3-year deal? Or will they just say, okay, we'll just see what we give you for 1 more year or 2 more years? I have no idea. But I'd probably consider re-signing him. But again, I don't want them re-signing him and saying, okay, now we've got our, top 6 left wing. Yeah. I don't want to do that thing because I don't think that's okay. I don't think that's okay. I think you still have to upgrade beyond him. So I would just be cautious of, what are you doing with him when you re-sign him?
Or is it a possibility that you don't qualify him again, just like Seattle did?
Yeah.
And let him walk.
Yeah, I think so.
The typical Don Sweeney move.
Yeah, I think so.